Hey guys, it's Dami, and today I'm going to be doing a product review on the DiWine Wine Aerator by Kitchen Presence. And this is the wine aerator right here, okay? Came with the case, the wine aerator, and the base holder for it. So I received this from Thomason, and I was super psyched because, as you guys know, I absolutely love wine. I mean, I love wine. And so I was really hyped because this is the first time I've ever used or owned a wine aerator. And about 2 years ago, I started seeing like wine aerators show up everywhere. Like in every wine store I went to, they were, advertising all these fancy wine aerators. But I never wanted to buy one because they were so expensive. And of course, they were the digital ones. And so, in my opinion, I said, well, why do I need a wine aerator? Like, that doesn't make sense. And the lady said, well, it makes a really cheap bottle taste like an expensive bottle. And I was like, well, I've tasted some expensive bottles, and they taste like crap. So, I mean, if I buy a $15 bottle of wine, for example, this right here, this is a North Carolina wine. This is like $15, and I love it. Tastes so good, so sweet. I wouldn't want to change this to taste like a $60 bottle of wine because it might taste nasty, For those of you guys who have tried really expensive bottles of wine, which to me $60 for a bottle of wine is not really expensive, but So anyway, I was like, I don't need that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And then one of my friends explained to me about different methods of wine aeration. You have traditional, then you have the electronic one that does it. You have this. I mean, there's different ways to aerate wine, and I was like, I'm missing out. Like, I already have myself signed up for some classes that show you different ways to aerate your wine and stuff, just because I want to see how it's done from a professional. So anyway, like I said, I was really excited to try this, and I was more excited because I said, if this thing makes one of my bottles, my $15 bottles of wine, taste like, completely different and amazing and really expensive, then I've really been missing out. Well, I'll just say I've used this already, and I see no difference. I'm going to be honest with you, I see absolutely no difference, okay? And I used several wines with this. I used a cheap bottle of wine, okay, that was like $10. I used, or $11. I used another bottle of wine that was like in the 30s, another one that was 70 something, and then I had a really expensive bottle of wine that was like $200. It did nothing for either of them. And I thought first, I was like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't know how to use this thing. No, it didn't taste any different to me, okay? But then again, this is a quick way to do it. So maybe that's why I don't see, or taste any difference in the wine. Maybe if I try the traditional way. I don't know. So anyway, I'll get to how to use this thing, okay? So, first off, I want to go with this cheap bottle of wine. I tried this one. It's the Pinot Family Vineyards, North Carolina, local wine. Like I said, tastes really good. It's like 15 bucks. So, I poured that in here, and I was like, okay, and I waited a little bit. It's like this wine tastes the same way it did if I just poured it out of the bottle. So then I tried this one, the Kimball, okay? This is a Sauvignon Blanc, right, from Casablanca Valley, wine of Chile. I'm not going to go through what all that means. If you're a wine person, you will understand this. Anyway, this is a 2015 bottle, which is pretty new, okay? So, of course, if you know, the longer that some wines you can store longer than others, and the longer you store it, usually the more flavor that comes out of it. It's just like tea. If you put a tea bag in a cup of water and you drink it right away, it's going to taste kind of flat. But if you let it sit out, you get that wonderful, robust flavor. It's just amazing. So anyway, it's the same thing with wine. So I tried this one, the Kimball, and because this is my second bottle, and I didn't taste the difference at all. And I let it sit for a little bit. I said, maybe if I let it sit for a little bit, which I'm going to get to that in a minute about letting your wine sit out. But it didn't change the taste in it right away at all. Okay? So then I have this one. This is Crowd Pleasing. This is a 2014 bottle. Zinfandel, Dry Creek Valley, Sonoma County. And again, I have 2 bottles of this as well. And it didn't taste any different. And this is a red wine. Okay, so this is white, this is red. And then I have this is an international wine. It's a French wine. Do not judge me. I don't speak French, so I'm going to say this so wrong. This is a 2013 bottle, which I get so excited when I have older bottles of wine. It's a Côte du Roussillon, whatever. Like I said, don't judge me. Villages. And so anyway, yeah, this is also a red wine, okay? So anyway, this didn't taste different at all whatsoever, okay? And this right here is kind of dry, but most French wines are drier. So that being said, these did not taste different whatsoever. And I actually used not this one. I used the French wine, and I also used the Kimball on my initial taste test. And then I had 2 other bottles. The other bottle one I drank because it was good. The cheap bottle that was like $11.99, and then the really, really expensive bottle, I drank some. And then a family member decided that they were just going to go in and drink the rest of the bottle because it just tasted so good, and and then recycle the bottle. It's like, you do know that was like a $200 bottle of wine you just drank, right? So no class at all. Just drink all your wine. So anyway, I'm going to show you with this bottle, since it's open, how to use this, okay? So this is, like I said, this is the wine aerator. What you're going to do is you're going to put this like this and make sure the little slim part is inside your glass, okay? It's going to fit just like that, okay? Depending on the width of your glass. So what you do is, I always turn mine around, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it kind of sounded like a drain. And that is, there's little holes in here, okay? And then I'm going to take it out, okay? And what I always do is I always have this little bowl if I'm going to have guests over. And I'm just doing this now because this is a video, but I'll take this and just kind of rinse it out. Just kind of rinse it out, because you don't want, wine is sticky, and it's, you know, you don't want that just sitting here when you put it in here. So anyway, that's rinsed out. So now I do whip it around, taste it. It tastes no different at all. And that's a fact. And I drink this on a regular basis. This is one of the main brands, North Carolina brands, local brands that I drink. They are cheap because they're local wines, so they're always cheap. They're always in like the $10 to like $15 price range. But yeah, I mean, it didn't change anything. And so that goes back to my theory of wine aerators being, you know, just overly priced and, you know, just a waste of money. But I am going to say this. So recently, my husband and I, we bought a bottle of wine, or he bought a bottle of wine. It was a branded or kind of wine I really didn't like. And he tried that wine aerator too, and he was like, this tastes the same way it tasted when I poured it straight into my glass. So what he did was, and we decided, we sat our wine out. And this is really good for you guys out there that's just new to trying wines and getting into wines. Instead of buying one of these, what you can do is get your bottle of wine. You can just open it, don't have to pour it in a glass or whatever you want, and let your bottle just sit out. Now, some bottles take longer than others. Some bottles, or just say I pour this in, pour a glass, let it sit out for like 30 minutes. There will be a difference in the taste of your wine. And I think he had a Chardonnay. I think that's what he had. He got a Chardonnay, and I didn't really particularly care for it. But when he let it sit out for 30 minutes, and we went back and tasted it, it tasted really good. I mean, there was a huge difference in the taste from the time we poured it until the time we waited 30 minutes and tasted it. Big difference in the taste. Big difference. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and try it. And it doesn't have to be some fancy wine. Go out, go to your grocery store, get you a bottle of Chardonnay, White Zinfandel, Barefoot Moscato, whatever, and you try it, and there will be a big difference. Now, of course, some bottles, depending on the type of wine, you may need to leave it out longer, shorter times, it depends. But I say 30 minutes is a good amount of time to really taste that difference. And so it was just very funny. It sounds like, people spend money for these wine aerators, and I was like, and all they have to do is just let their wine sit out. Now, I understand this makes it much easier, and it's much quicker. But there's no difference in the taste, in my opinion. And so, if you really want to get that full effect and that full, flavor, take the time and let your wine just sit out. Or you can do what I'm doing and get you a class and learn about the traditional way to aerate your wine. I am so excited about that class. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about the class. But anyway, so yeah, I don't see the value in this. I'll put it that way. I don't see the value in this. I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. I think it's perfect if you have a party, and not because it works, because it just looks nice, okay? I put this out because it looks nice, but I wouldn't tell somebody your wine's going to taste completely different, okay? Unless you have people there that know nothing about wine and they'll believe whatever you say. But honestly, I wouldn't buy this. I really wouldn't. And I'm glad I didn't buy a wine aerator. But at the same time, I know a few people have told me that, of course, you also get what you pay for. This is not the most expensive wine aerator. This is one of the cheaper ones, okay? It's very simple. It's portable. And so I know some people that say, well, if you spend like $80 on a wine aerator, you would, be able to taste the difference because it's quality. And I said, yeah, well, I'll come to your house and use your wine aerator and give it a try. But I'm not going to spend $80 on a product where, I can't taste the difference. And of course, this is coming from, people that really don't know much about wine, don't know the difference between a dry wine and a sweet wine. People who don't understand the difference between red, white, and rose. So I wouldn't listen to them anyway. But so yeah, I mean, that's really the end of my review. I don't know what else to say. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. So yeah, I mean, there's 4 different bottles of wine here, 4 different price ranges. I wish I would have had that $200 bottle of wine, because I would have just flaunted that and been like, seriously. So, but anyway, that's the product. I'll still put the link at the bottom of the video. If you guys want to go ahead and purchase it, which I doubt after this video you want to, but because it's so cheap for the average person that's just learning about wine aeration, or somebody that's just getting into wine or something, this may be cute. And to be honest with you, I would buy this as a gift for somebody. I wouldn't buy this for myself, but I just think something like this is so cute as like a little stocking stuffer, or a neighbor. If you know your neighbor's a wino, or just loves wine, excuse me, not a wino, but just loves wine, this would just be a really cute gift for them. Honestly, I would definitely buy this for somebody. I don't know, they might be mad at me because, when you're a wine person and somebody tells you it's going to change the way your wine tastes, you're expecting something magical to happen. But anyway, yeah, so it's a great gift. I'll still put the link at the bottom. And if you guys have any other questions or even comments, if any of you guys out there are using wine aerators now, and I mean those good wine aerators, the ones that cost money, the digital ones, whatever, or even people that have used the traditional way, they pour it in and they have the heat or whatever that is on the bottom. I don't know. It's insane. Um, Whatever you know about wine aeration, feel free to comment. Enlighten me. I don't mind learning. I really don't. And I just love learning more things about wines and stuff like that. I know somebody did tell me um, some wines, regardless if you aerate them or not, they're not going to taste the same. And I didn't know that. I'm thinking every wine that I put in this thing is going to be magical. It's going to have a magical taste. It's going to be, wonderful. And so it was very interesting to hear that there are going to be some wines where a wine aerator doesn't do anything for it. So that was pretty interesting. But like I said, any questions, comments, anything that you can teach me or tell me about, or your opinions about wine aerators, feel free to let me know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more product reviews.